Namaskar. Welcome to my class once again. Today we shall discuss the Pardnor's tale. Here beginneth the Pardnor's tale. The Pardnor narrates a story to all the people, to all the travelers who have gathered at the Tabard. Let us find out what he says. In Flanders, once was a company of young folk who practiced folly. So he talks about a group of people. He talks about a group of people. There was a company of people, a group of people, young folk, young people who practiced folly. Folly is wickedness, silliness. So these people were a bunch of loafers, a bunch of wicked people, naughty people. And what they practiced? Such as debauchery, gambling, brothels, and taverns. Debauchery is wickedness. They were very wicked people. They practiced wickedness. They participated in gambling. Gambling is betting. They participated in, they went to brothels. They visited brothels where the whores or prostitutes live. WHORES, whores or prostitutes, right? So they uh, went to the places, brothels, where the prostitutes live, and they also went to taverns. Taverns are pubs or bars to have a drink. They went to taverns and had a drink there, where with harps, lutes, and guitars, these are musical instruments. Harps, lutes, and guitars, these are musical instruments. They dance and play at dice, both day and night. So, throughout the day, they indulged in a lot of merrymaking. They danced there, they drank wine there, and they enjoyed their lives there in those brothels, in those pubs or bars, in those gambling houses where they participated in betting or gambling, and also eat and drink beyond their capacity, through which they do the devil sacrifice within that devil's temple in coarse manner by abominable excess. What is abominable? Abominable is something that is repulsive. They indulged in excesses. They drank a lot of wine. They expected a lot of pleasure. They indulged in a lot of pleasure, merrymaking. So they broke the limits of everything. Limits of pleasure, limits of all types of pleasure. That's what they broke. Okay. And they dance and play at dice both day and night, and also eat and drink beyond their capacity, through which they do the devil sacrifice within that devil's temple in caused manner by abominable excesses. You know, these places were the places where the devil stayed. These were the places, a whorehouse, a place where a whore lives, a prostitute lives, a place where you get a lot of wine to drink. Now, the poet says these are abominable places. These are places which you should hate. You don't like to go there. So, they went to these places and indulged in a lot of excesses, right? So, let us go to the next line. Their oaths are so great and so damnable. Their oaths were damnable, unpleasant, bad. They always spoke a kind of language that was foul. They were foul mouthed. Foul mouthed. A person who speaks or who uses bad language, foul language. So their oaths are so great and so damnable that it is grisly to hear them swear. Grisly means horrible. So, you feel very bad to listen to them. When they spoke, one felt very bad to listen to them. To hear them swear. Swear is to curse or abuse. So, when they spoke something, you felt really very bad because that was the kind of language they used. Our blessed Lord's body they tore in pieces. They thought that the Jews did not tear him enough, and each of them laughed at the other's sin. Now, Jesus Christ stood for humanity, for love, for brotherhood, for peace. And these people, these things did not mean anything. To these people, love, affection, brotherhood, peace, all these things did not mean anything. So, the poet says, they tore Jesus Christ's body into more pieces, as if his body had not been torn up. His body had not been torn up into adequate pieces. Now, Jesus Christ, you must have heard, he was nailed to death. He was nailed, right? As if ଯେମିତି ସେ ଯୋଉ values ଗୁଡାକ ପାଇଁ Jesus Christ was famous, ଯେମିତି love ହଉ, affection ହଉ, brotherhood ହଉ, ଏମାନେ ସେଗୁଡାକୁ ଖିନ୍ଭିନ୍ ସେଇ ସବୁ values ଗୁଡାକରେ ଏମାନେ ଟିକେ ବିଶ୍ୱାସ ନଥିଲା. So in a way, Jesus Christ ଯୋଉ values ଗୁଡାକରେ ବିଶ୍ୱାସ କରୁଥିଲେ, these people did not believe in those values. And each of them laughed at the other's sin. They enjoyed, right? They did not prevent the other person from indulging in sin. Now, suppose your friend is doing something wrong. What is your duty as a friend? Your duty as a friend is to prevent him, is to stop him from doing that. But instead of doing that, instead of preventing your friend, stopping your friend, if you support him, it means you are not doing the right thing. So these people, they were such a wicked group of people that they they incited each other. They incited each other to commit some sin. They laughed at each other's sin. They enjoyed each other's sin. And right away then come dancing girls, elegantly shaped and slim, and girls selling fruits, singers with harps, birds, girls selling wafers. So now when they arrived at the brothel where the prostitutes lived, or when they arrived at the pubs where they wanted a glass of where they went to drink glasses of wine, immediately girls would flock that place. Girls would arrive. Elegantly shaped, beautifully shaped and slim girls, beautiful girls would arrive. And girls selling fruits. Singers would arrive there. They would carry harps, musical instruments in their hands. And birds. Birds are BAWDS, birds. A woman in charge of a brothel. Brothel is a whorehouse where the prostitute lives. Brothel. So, a woman in charge of a brothel, that is a bird. And girls selling wafers. 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 Wafers are biscuits or crackers. So, they wanted to eat a lot. They had a lot of money with them. They wanted to eat. They wanted to drink. They wanted to indulge in merriment. ତେଣୁ ସେମାନେ ପହଞ୍ଚିଲା ମାନେ ତାଙ୍କ ଚାରିପଟ ଯାକ ଲୋକ ଆସିକି ପହଞ୍ଚି ଯାଉଥିଲେ. ସୁନ୍ଦର ସୁନ୍ଦର ଝିଅମାନେ ସବୁ ଆସିକି ପହଞ୍ଚି ଯାଉଥିଲେ. They would dance. They would sell things to them. How? They would get a lot of money. which are the very devil's officers. To kindle, the poet says, you know who arrived? These girls arrived. And who were these girls? They were the devil's officers. They were symbols of devil, incarnations of devil, right? Devil का रूप ସେମାନେ ଜଣେ ଜଣେ ସବୁ ଡେଭିଲ ଥିଲେ। ଇଏ ତ ଡେଭିଲ। ଡେଭିଲ ଯୋଉଠି ଯାଇକି ତମେ ଶୁଣିଥିବ birds of a feather flock together। ମାନେ ତୁମେ ଯଦି ଭଲ ହେଇଥିବ ତୁମକୁ ସାଙ୍ଗଟା ଭଲ ହବ। ତୁମେ ଯଦି ଗୋଟେ ମଦ ପିଉଥିବ ତମକୁ 4 ଜଣ ମଦ ପିଉଥିବା ଲୋକ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ସାଙ୍ଗ ହେଇଯିବେ। ରାଇଟ୍? କାହିଁକି ନା birds of a feather ଏକା ଟାଇପର birds flock together। So it's people with similar characteristics gel very well. They become friends very well, very easily. So why did these girls arrive there? To kindle and blow the fire of lechery. Lechery means excessive sexual desire, right? And to kindle, kindle Kindle, kindle means to spark or light. To spark or light, kindle and blow the fire of lechery. So when a question comes, you have to write why these girls arrived. These girls arrived. Who were the girls? The girls were incarnations of devil within quotation mark. So these incarnations of devil arrived to kindle within quotation mark and blow the fire of lechery. Quotation mark. So you have to quote heavily from the text, right? So to ignite their passion, to blow their passion, ତେଣୁ ତାଙ୍କର ତ ଡିଜାୟାର ଅଛି ଏହି ପ୍ରକାର ଲେଚରସ୍ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିଜରେ ପାର୍ଟିସିପେଟ୍ କରିବା, ମଦ ପିଇବା, ସେକ୍ସୁଆଲ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିଜରେ ଇଣ୍ଡଲ୍ସ କରିବା, ତାଙ୍କର ଇଚ୍ଛା ଅଛି। ସାଙ୍ଗେ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ମାନେ ତାକୁ ପ୍ରୋଭାଇଡ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ବି ଲୋକଙ୍କର ଦୁନିଆରେ ଅଭାବ ନାହିଁ। ସୋ ସେମାନେ ଆସିକି ସାଙ୍ଗେ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ପହଞ୍ଚିଗଲେ। That is join onto gluttony. Gluttony means an excessive greed for something. Gluttony, an excessive greed for something. The Bible I take as my witness that lechery is in wine and drunkenness. The poet says, I will cite some examples from the Bible to prove that wine and drunkenness, these are extremely harmful, right? Lo, how that drunken lot unnaturally lay by his 2 daughters unwittingly. There is a reference to Lot, L-O-T, L capital. There is a reference to Lot in the Bible. There is a reference to Lot, L-O-T, in the Bible. Now, what does the Bible refer to? The Bible says that Lot's daughters got him drunk, got their father drunk, and they seduced him. They had sexual relationship with him. This is called incest, I-N-C-E-S-T, illegal relationship. The relationship between father-daughter, illegal relationship, sexual relationship between father-daughter, between brother-sister, that is called incest. Usually you don't hear such things happening in the society. So here what the 2 girls did, 2 daughters did, they got their father drunk. So when the father was under the influence of alcohol, was under the influence of wine, they kept sexual relationship with him. So this was unacceptable. So why is the poet referring to this? The poet is saying it is wine that can cause a lot of devastation and destruction. Wine can kill you. Wine can make you immoral. Wine can make you immoral. So what these 2 daughters do with the father, it was something immoral. Right. So he says, So drunk he was, he knew not what he did. So father was so drunk that he didn't know what he was doing. So when you are drunk, you don't know what you are doing. You lose all sense of ठीक काम तमे करछो कि नहीं judgment. You won't be able to judge perfectly. You won't be able to reason out things if I am doing the right thing or not. You lose all sense of propriety. You lose all sense of reason whether you are doing the right thing or not. Your judgment whether you are doing the right thing or not. What is wrong? What is right? You forget all these things. So the Bible refers to Lot. Then there is another reference. This is called allusion. 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 The poet is alluding to. Allusion is a reference. So when you are writing something, when the poet writes something, he refers to something else. He refers to something else that is called allusion. This is a figure of speech and that is called allusion. So here Chaucer is alluding to the Bible. Next he talks about another person, Herod, Herod. Herod. Whoever should seek well the histories would learn. Who was this Herod? Herod was the great king of Judah. Judaea. Judaea. Herod was the great king of Judah. According to the New Testament, he had publicly reproved Herod for divorcing his first wife and unlawfully taking his sister-in-law as his second wife. So Herod, whoever should seek well the histories, Herod reproved, he did not accept Baptist John, right? When he was filled with wine at his feast, right at his own table, he gave his command to slay John the Baptist. Slay is to kill, to behead somebody, cut the head off. So Herod was so drunk in that party that Herod didn't like John the Baptist. Herod did not like John the Baptist because John the Baptist asked, he reproved, he scolded, ତାକୁ criticize କରୁଥିଲା ଯେ why you divorced your wife and why you got married to another woman, your sister-in-law. So he was so drunk, Herod was so drunk at the party that he decided, he just gave orders. He was a king, he gave orders. So he was a king, so he gave orders that John the Baptist's head be cut off, he be slain. So his head was cut off. Now, next, the poet talks about Seneca. Seneca was a philosopher, statesman, dramatist in ancient Rome. Seneca. Seneca was a philosopher, statesman, dramatist in ancient Rome. Seneca says a good word, says the poet. Doubtless, undoubtedly, he says a very good word. He says he can find no difference between a man that is out of his mind and a man that is drunk. You are out of your mind means you are mad. You are out of your mind means you are mad. So Seneca says there is no difference between a person who is mad and who is drunk, except that madness fallen in an evil person lasts longer than does drunkenness. Okay, if there is a difference, of course, there is a very little difference, very small difference. If you are drunk, you remain drunk for a very, for 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, maybe for the entire night, right? You are under the spell of wine. Wine controls you throughout the night, right? But if you are completely mad, you are not cured at all. You never get over that madness of yours. This is the only difference. But there is a great deal of similarity between being mad and being drunken or being under the influence of wine. O gluttony, full of coarseness, O first cause of our sin, O origin of our damnation. Damnation, Damnation. Damnation. Damnation is doom or curse. Doom or curse. So there is another interesting figure of speech that the poet has used here. He addresses an abstract idea, gluttony. Gluttony is what? An excessive desire for something, for food, for drinks, excessive greed, as if it were alive. Oh, gluttony. Right? Certainly gluttony kote achi, a gluttony tagata suniki asibo. Such addresses are called apostrophe. 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 So the poet uses an apostrophe to say, "O gluttony, full of coarseness, you are like a corpse only. You are like a corpse. Corpse is the opposite of boon. Boon. Boon is a bora. Huh? Good positive thing, good thing. So my life is, I am cursed. When you say I am cursed, I am gone forever. My life is a waste. My life has become a waste. So, oh gluttony, how cursed you are. Huh? You curse people, right? You make their life cursed. Oh, first cause of our ruin. Again, there is another reference to the Bible. ଯେତେବେଳେ Adam and Eve Garden of Eden ରେ ରହୁଥିଲେ, God forbade them from eating the apple, forbidden apple. Don't eat that apple. Do whatever, enjoy your lives here, but don't eat that apple. But Adam and Eve ate that apple, and because of that, they were thrown out of heaven into this earth. And say dinatu, our lives have become cursed. God cursed him. God cursed them. You didn't obey me. Now, this will be the result of your actions. So, this gluttony, etes jinsa thila, so many trees were there, so many fruits were there. Couldn't they have managed with anything else? They could have. But lobha, gluttony, deep desire, excessive desire, ହଇରାଣ କଲେ। ଆଉ ତାଙ୍କ ଯୋଗୁ ଆମେ ସମସ୍ତେ ହଇରାଣ ହଉଛେ। O origin of our damnation, O origin of our curse. Human lives, it is said, human lives are cursed because life is difficult. It's full of problems. Our lives are cursed. So our lives are cursed only because of that action by Adam and Eve. Until Christ had bought us with his blood again. Another reference to Bible. Right? So how long did this continue? Jesus Christ, the Jews killed Jesus Christ. But it was the same Christ who shed his blood. The Bible says that Jesus purchased us back from slavery and sin with his blood and granted us redemption. Redemption, recovery. जे माने सब मो पिला से माने कष्ट रे अछंती ତାଙ୍କ କଷ୍ଟ ମୁଁ ନେଇଯିବି, ସେମାନେ ଭଲରେ ରୁହନ୍ତୁ। ହେଲା, ଆଉ ଇନ୍ ରିଟର୍ନ ଆମେ ତାଙ୍କୁ କଣ କଲେ? ଆମେ ତାଙ୍କୁ କ୍ରୁସିଫାଏ କରିଦେଲେ। ବୁଝିହେଲା? ବୁଝିପାରିଲ ନା ନାଇଁ? ତେଣୁ the Bible, so again there is another reference to this, is another example of allusion. Lo, how dearly, shortly to say, was bought that same cursed villainy. Corrupt was all this world for gluttony. So, it is the same people whom he had saved from damnation. जो कर्स थिला पीपल को ऊपर, it was Jesus Christ who saved them, but it is the same people who put them to death. Adam, our father, and his wife also, from paradise to labor and to woe, were driven for that vice. There is no doubt. For while Adam fasted, as I read, he was in paradise. And when he ate the forbidden fruit on the tree, immediately he was cast out to woe and pain. Trouble, all kinds of difficulties started, problems started, pain started. The moment, so long as Adam had not eaten that forbidden fruit, he was in heaven. The moment he ate that, he was thrown onto the hell, you can say. All problems started. Immediately he was cast out to woe and pain. O gluttony, on thee well we ought to complain. Oh, if a man knew how many evils follow of excess and of gluttony, he would be the more moderate of his diet sitting at his table. So if a man realized that eating too much, drinking too much, becoming too greedy would lead to problems, then he would become moderate. Moderate is not go for excesses, not too less, not too high. तार व्यवहार, तार आचार व्यवहार से मॉडरेट करदब, टिके कंट्रोल्ड करदब, टिके मिडिल स्टेज रे रहिबो सेटा, ना बेसी कम ना बेसी अधिका. So if man realized that gluttony was the root cause of all evils, can cause a lot of trouble in your lives, then you would moderate you would control your wishes, your desires. If we control our desires, then there will be very little pain. We know that. But at times, we lose our control. Then we are in trouble. Then we are in difficulty. Then alas, the short throat, the tender mouth. So, the short throat, the tender mouth makes the east and west and north and south. In earth, in air, in water, men. In earth, in air, in water, men work to get a glutton dainty food and drink. Why do people work so much? People work so much so that they can have dainty, D-A-I-N-T-Y. Dainty means elegant or exquisite food and drink. Dainty, D-A-I-N-T-Y. Dainty means exquisite or elegant. So that you can get nice food, nice drink. You work so hard. We want more and more money. We work hard to earn more money. If we have more money, we can go to a hotel and we can treat ourselves to delicious dishes. If you have a lot of money, we will indulge in all kinds of stupid things, sins, vices, mad piva, womanize kariba, charas ଖାଇବା, ଗଞ୍ଜେଇ ଖାଇବା, drugs ଖାଇବା, এই ସବୁ କାମ ଆମେ କରିବା. If you have a lot of money with us. Of this matter, O Paul, well can thou treat food unto belly and belly also unto food. God shall destroy both, as Paul says. The Bible, there is another, this is another reference to the Bible. The Bible says the body is not made for sexual immortality, but for the Lord, and Lord for the body. The body is not made to enjoy excesses, to drink a lot, to eat a lot, to enjoy all kinds of physical pleasure, things that money can buy. No, no, that is not the purpose of human life. Why you have been given this body? So that you can think of the Lord, so that you will be devoted to the Lord, so that you will help the Lord in doing things that would take away poverty from this earth. गरीब लोगों को help करो. This body has been given to you. You can help the poor. You can try to alleviate their poverty. ତମେ ସମାଜର ସେବା କର, ଲୋକଙ୍କର ସେବା କର. God can't be everywhere. So he has created men. But ତମେ ତ ସଦାବେଳେ ଏନ୍ଜୟମେଣ୍ଟର କଥା ଭାବିଲ. ତ ଏଇ ସବୁ କଥା ତମ ମନକୁ କେତେବେଳେ ଆସିବ? So this is what gluttony can do. This is another reference to the Bible. Alas, a foul thing it is, by my faith, to say this word, and fouler is the deed. When man so drinks of the white and red, that he makes his privy of his throat through that same cursed excess. So it's quite natural when you are drinking the white and you are eating and drinking, you are indulging in a lot of eating and drinking. So this is also partaking, P-A-R-T-A-K-E, taking part or participating in evil. This is equivalent to participating in evil. Right? So this is what excessive indulgence can do. Next, the poet says, the apostle weeping says full piteously. Apostle means A-P-O-S-T-L-E, each of the 12 chief disciples of Christ. Each of the 12 chief disciples of, disciple is a student, chief student of Jesus Christ. There were many of whom I have told you, I say it now weeping with piteous voice. They are enemies of Christ's cross. Christ's cross, the cross on which Jesus Christ was crucified. That is a cross. Huh? You must have seen it. Of which the end is death. Belly is their God. O God, O belly, O stinking bag. So don't always indulge in a lot of eating, drinking, merrymaking. Don't indulge in excesses. If you indulge in excesses, it is a kind of sin. You commit a kind of sin. Right? Oh God. God means instinct or desire. G-U-T, God. God is instinct or desire. Oh desire, apostrophe. Right? Addressing an inanimate object as if it is present there somewhere. Oh God. Oh belly. Oh stinking bag. Your belly is a stinking bag which smells foul. What is there inside the belly? What comes out in the morning? Right? Huh? So your belly is filled with stinking things. It is a stinking, your stomach is a stinking bag. Your stomach is a stinking bag. Filled with dung and with corruption. All kinds of desire, all kinds of greed. Everything is there inside. So all bad things are there, foul things are there. All stinking things are there. At either end of the sound is foul. How great labor and cost it is to feed thee. କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଏ ବେଲି କେତେ ଟଙ୍କା ମୁଁ ଖର୍ଚ୍ଚ କରେ ତୋ ପାଇଁ ଖାଦ୍ୟ ଯୋଗାଡ଼ କରିବା ପାଇଁ, and what a great effort it requires. Man works so hard so that he can get food. ଯଦି ଆମର ଫୁଡ୍ ର ଚିନ୍ତା ନଥାନ୍ତା ଯେ ଫୁଡ୍ ଟା ତମର ଛକ ଉପରେ ଥୁଆ ହେଇଛି, ତମେ ଯିବ ଖାଲି ବ୍ୟାଗ୍ ଟା ଉଠେଇକି ଆଣିକି ରୋଷେଇ କରିବା ବି ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ, ସିଧା ତାକୁ ଖାଇଦବ, ତାହେଲେ ଆମେ କାହିଁକି ପରିଶ୍ରମ କରନ୍ତେ, ଆମେ କାହିଁକି କଲେଜ ଆସନ୍ତେ, ଆମେ କାହିଁକି ପାଠ ପଢନ୍ତେ, ଆମେ କାହିଁକି ପରିଶ୍ରମ କରିବାକୁ ରାଜି ହୁଅନ୍ତେ? କାହିଁକିନା ଫୁଡ୍ ଆମର ଦିନକୁ 4 ଥର ଦରକାର ଅତି କମରେ, ନହେଲେ ଆମେ ରହିପାରିବାନି। ସେଇଥିପାଇଁ ଡ୍ରିଙ୍କ ଆମର ଦିନକୁ 5 ଥର ଦରକାର, ସେ ଚା ଫର୍ମରେ ହଉ, ସେ ପାଣି ହଉ, ସେ ମିଲ୍କ ହଉ, ଯାହାର ୱାଇନ୍ ଭଲ ତାର ୱାଇନ୍ ହଉ, ତାରି ପାଇଁ ହିଁ ସବୁ ଗଣ୍ଡଗୋଳ। Okay, these cooks, how they pound is beat things to powder. They pound everything. The cooks pound everything, strain using a strainer, just as in case of tea ଛଣାରେ ତାକୁ ପକେଇକି ତମେ ଛାଣୁଛ, and you grind everything, grind the spices. So cook uses so many things, so many methods to prepare the food and turn substance into outward appearance to fulfill all thy gluttonous desire. So ଏତେ ସବୁ କାମ ଆମେ କାହିଁକି କରୁଛେ? So that we can have a nice, we can enjoy the taste of something, taste of food. Ah, food tasted very good today. Ah, what nice aroma came out, smell came out, what a good smell, that came out of it. So to fulfill all thy gluttonous desire, out of the hard bones they knock the marrow. Marrow is there inside the soft substance which you find inside the bones. The bones, if you break the bones, you will get the marrow. So taku cooks mane bahut parishram kari kadhanti, for they throw nothing away that may go through the gullet. Gullet is the throat. Gullet is the throat. Softly and sweetly. ଏତେ ସବୁ ପରିଶ୍ରମ ଆମକୁ କରିବାକୁ ପଡୁଛି. We cooks grind, they pound, they strain, they spend hours cooking so that we can enjoy a hearty meal. Of seasoning of leaf, bark and root. So bark is the cover, skin of the tree. Bark, ତାକୁ ଆଣୁଛେ, କେତେ ଗୁଡେ ଜିନିଷର ବାର୍କ ଆମେ ୟୁଜ କରୁଛେ, କେତେ ଗୁଡାକର ଲିଭ୍ସ ୟୁଜ କରୁଛେ, ତାକୁ ଆଣିକି ସେ ସିଜନ କରୁଛି, ତାକୁ ବହୁତ ଦିନ ଯାଏ ରଖିକିରି ତାକୁ କୋଉଟା ତେଲରେ ପକେଇବା, ମ୍ୟାଙ୍ଗୋ ତାକୁ ନେଇକି ତେଲରେ ପକା ହଉଛି, ସୋ ଦ୍ୟାଟ ଇଟ୍ ବିକମ୍ସ ପିକଲ। କୋଉଟାକୁ ସିଝା ହଉଛି, କୋଉଟାକୁ କୁକ୍ କରାହଉଛି, କୋଉଟାକୁ ଗ୍ରାଇଣ୍ଡ କରାହଉଛି, ସୋ ଦ୍ୟାଟ belly is filled, so that our desire for food is satiated, our hunger is satiated or satisfied. Right? Shall his sauce be made for delight, to make him yet a newer appetite? But certainly, so why we are doing all this? So that our appetite is satisfied, our hunger, our appetite for food, our desire for food is satisfied. But certainly, he who habitually seeks such delicacies is dead when he lives in those vices. But when you indulge in excesses, it is a sin. And when you are surrounded by sin, it is your life is, or you are as good as dead. ତମେ ବଞ୍ଚିକି ବି ତମ ଜୀବନର କିଛି ମୂଲ୍ୟ ନାହିଁ। ତେଣୁ ଗ୍ଲୁଟନି এটা ଗୋଟେ ଅତି ଖରାପ ଜିନିଷ, ଇଟ୍ସ ଏ ଭାଇସ୍, that is what the poet is telling you. A lecherous thing is wine, and drunkenness is full of striving and wretchedness. O drunken man, disfigured is thy face, sour is that thy breath, foul art thou to embrace. So if you are a drunken man, a foul smell comes out of your mouth. Nobody wants to embrace you, hold you tightly, because a foul smell comes. Your mouth, your face changes its shape. तो कथाबार्तार किसी ठिकाना नहीं. ତ ମୁହଁରୁ ସଦାବେଳେ it reeks, it smells foul. A foul smell comes, a bad smell comes out of your mouth. Your breath is sour, fresh ନୁହେଁ, something that is not fresh. Your breath is not fresh. ହେଲା, and through thy drunken nose the sound seems as though thou said always, Samson, Samson. ତୁ ଯେତେବେଳେ କଥାବାର୍ତ୍ତା କରୁ, ଯେତେବେଳେ ତୋ ନାକରୁ ପବନ ବାହାରୁଛି, ସେ କେମିତି what sound comes out? Samson, Samson, Samson. The name Samson is derived from the Hebrew word Shams, which means son. Son. So that Samson bore the name of God, who is called a son, who is called a son and shield. And yet God knows Samson did not drink any wine. Right? You are completely drunk. You are taking, it seems as if you are taking the name of Son God. But what are you trying to prove? ତୁ Son God ର ନେମ୍ ନଉଛୁ, but ଜାଣିନୁ କି Son God କେବେ ମଦ ପିଅନ୍ତିନି? Samson never drank any wine. Thou fallest like a stuck pig, a pig which is trapped. Trapped, it can't escape. So, helpless pig. As if you are helpless, you can't do anything. ଯେ ମଦ ଗୁଡ଼ା excess ପିଉଛି, ସେ ସହଜରେ କ'ଣ, can he kick that habit out? It's very difficult to kick that habit out. You can't wriggle out of it. ତମକୁ ସେ ଏତେ ଜୋରେ ଚାପିକି ଧରିଛି ଯେ ତମେ ଆଉ ତା ଭିତରୁ ବାହାରିକି ଯାଇପାରିବନି. So he finds it very difficult to escape. The tongue is lost, all thy care for decency. Your behavior becomes indecent, which is not acceptable. There is nothing called decency in how you behave. And your tongue is lost. Right? तो कथाबार्ता କିଛି ଠିକ ଠିକଣା ନାହିଁ. Right? ମଦୁଆ ମାନେ ଦେଖିଥିବ କେମିତି କଥାବାର୍ତ୍ତା କରୁଥିବେ, କାହା ସହିତ କାହାର କିଛି ସମ୍ପର୍କ ନଥିବ. For drunkenness is truly the sepulchre. sepulchere. sepulcher. Sepulchre. Tomb. Tomb. Tomb or grave. So it is like a grave. Drunkenness is like a grave for you. So if you are drunk, as if you are lying in a grave. Grave re ketebeଳକୁ ଯାଏ ମଣିଷ? When one dies, after death one goes to the grave, one is taken to the carried to the grave. So to jibana, your life is equivalent to death. Of man's sweet and his discretion. So that it is a death to your wit. Wit is your sense of judgment. Right? Your sense of end of your sense of judgment. You can't distinguish between right and wrong. Sense of reason is lost. This is death of man's wit. If you are drunk, it means the end of your wit. And discretion. Discretion is the decision, judgment, power of judgment. In whom drink has domination, he can keep no secrets. There is no doubt. Now guard yourself from white and from red, and namely from the white wine of Lep. Right? What is Lep? Lepe. Lep is a Spanish town. So guard yourself. That is the advice that the poet gives. Guard yourself from the wine of Lep. That is to sell in Fish Street or in Cheapside. This wine of Spain creeps shortly into other wines growing nearby. So, these are Spanish towns. So forget about the wine which is produced at these places. Don't drink any wine that is produced in Chip or Lep, Cheapside or lep, of which there rise such bodily vapors that when a man has drunk 3 draughts, right? If you drink three draughts of it, 3 cups of it, 3 draughts of it, tini dhoko, draughts, draughts, draughts of it. If you drink 3 draughts of it, right, you feel as if you are in Spain, right at the town of Lip, not at La Rochelle, that is in France, or at Bordeaux, that is a French town. Then Willie says, Samson, Samson, don't go for wine. Leave it. Otherwise, you'll be living in sin, great sin. You'll be committing a great sin. But listen, gentlemen, one word I pray you that all the great deeds, I dare say, of victories in the Old Testament through true God who is omnipotent were done in abstinence and in prayer. Abstinence means not drinking any wine. Not drinking any wine. Abstinence. Remaining away from wine. Abstinence. To give up. Abstain from. Right? So God is all powerful, omnipotent, all powerful. All good deeds were done by people who didn't drink wine and who prayed the Lord. So all good deeds were done by people who did not drink wine and who prayed God regularly. Look in the Bible, there you can learn it. Consider how Attila was the ruler of Huns, Huns. Attila was the ruler of Huns, the great conqueror, died in his sleep with shame and dishonor. Attila. Attila was the ruler of Huns, Huns, in Europe, the great conqueror. He died in his sleep with shame and dishonor, bleeding ever at his nose in drunkenness. So he was a great conqueror. He had won many countries, but he had only one bad habit. He drank a lot of wine. So, what a great conqueror, one morning he did not wake up anymore because he had died in sleep. ମୁହଁରୁ ରକ୍ତ ବାହାରି ଯାଇଛି, he had died in sleep. ଏଡେ ବଡ conqueror ତାକୁ ମାରିଦେଲା ଦେଖ କେମିତି. ଏଡେ ବଡ conqueror, he had won over so many countries, but how helpless he was. He became helpless because he was drinking a lot of wine. A captain should live in sobriety. Sobriety. Sobriety is soberness. Sober, gentleness. You must be an example of soberness. Sobriety. And beyond all this, consider right well what was commanded unto Lamuel. Lamuel, Lamuel, Lamuel was the king of Massa, Massa, a North Arabian tribe. Massa was a North Arabian tribe. Not Samuel, but Lamuel, I say. Read the Bible and find it explicitly about giving wine to those that have the duty of doing justice. No more of this, for it may well suffice. Right? So, in this part, the poet talks about the evil effects of gluttony, the evil effects of wine and drunkenness. So, question can come. Question will be like this: what are the evil effects of wine and drunkenness according to Chaucer? Right? So, thank you very much. I hope this helps you understanding.